I was all set to release an episode regarding this astronaut from Japan who allegedly grew 3.5 inches while in space, which is on the level of they discovered a living Tyrannosaurus, or they found some new species of human in some remote area. I mean, it's huge. No one's ever grown in space. Of course, they lose their height gradually after they come back to Earth and are no longer in zero gravity. But nonetheless, they usually grow about 2 inches in space, and that's a lot. But 3.5 inches is just insane. So I'm about to upload the episode, and I want to just get the guy's name again, just to put in the description of the video. And it turns out the whole thing was either a joke or it didn't translate well to English, because it says he only grew 2 centimeters, which is a lot less than 2 inches. It's just 3/4 of an inch. And so that's not even average what they claim astronauts grow in space. To quote an article from Gizmodo, it says, "This mismeasurement appears to have been a serious topic, so I must apologize for this terrible fake news." But then they never explain how it happened. Did he do it on purpose? Was it a joke? They never really say definitively how such a mix-up happened. Then they say in the next paragraph, it sounds like an honest mistake. Well, how do you know it's an honest mistake? They didn't give any indication of whether it was a joke or a lie or on purpose. So here's the actual episode, which is now fake news, but related to this guy's initial story that was getting a lot of press. There's a Japanese astronaut named Norishige Kanai who's living on the International Space Station, and he was documented as having grown 3.5 inches since he's been in space. Usually you hear that astronauts gain maybe 2 inches of height, which is still a lot of height, because if you measure your height in the evening and then in the morning, most people generally gain under an inch because their spine compresses during the day. Even if you take a nap, your spine will regain some of the height, and you start walking around, it'll lose some of it, but it's usually less than an inch. But if there's no compression for days on end, apparently people's spine grows about 2 inches. But this guy, and that's temporary, because once they get back to Earth, they'll be their normal height. But this guy, I mean, imagine if you're 6 foot ½ inch, for example, you're a ½ inch over 6 feet tall, and all of a sudden you're 6'4". I mean, that's got to blow people's minds. And I wonder why this guy had a little more height than most people, about 1.5 inches more than what's usually reported. I wonder if it's something other than just the spinal decompression, like he had tight muscles that loosened up, similar to people taking muscle relaxers. But there are a certain amount of people that don't even know that your height fluctuates during the day. If you are unsure and want to test it out, don't use a ruler. Use a right angle, a 90-degree angle, like a book, or just an actual angle, metal or plastic angle for artists or for draftsmen, and put that up against the wall, and then stand under so your head hits the bottom of the angle or the bottom of the book, and you take the measurement off of that, because you can't trust a ruler. Some people hold one end higher. They can be as much as an inch off in the measurement. This astronaut is still in space, so maybe there'll be more information when he gets back. There are people that gain permanent height years after they graduate high school. Leave a comment below if you're one of those people, why you think you gained the height, and how much did you gain.